Well, I'm a New Yorker, and I love it, and the intensity of it, and the hostility of it. I feel every other place seems provincial when compared to New York. If I said with a hotel that you are where you sleep, I think it's even more compelling to say you are where you live. What my goal is to make the most special apartments ever done at any time. There's an opportunity to change the way people live. There's an opportunity to take living in New York City and make it a little bit more tolerable. And 50 Gramercy Park North will be my first effort in that regard. It's something unlike any other place in New York. An enclave, an oasis. Gramercy Park is a microcosm of New York City right there. You're living right in the middle of it. When I used to open up my hotels, I would live in them for about a year, and I would do that in order to shake them down and make sure they function correctly, because there's nothing better than when the owner lives in the hotel to make sure it functions right. And I had all the ease and privileges that come with living in a hotel, but it didn't have the benefits of ownership. And so this notion of a fusion of the two, of having the privacy and the benefits one gets from ownership, combine that with the hotel, it just seemed to me an unbeatable thing. And like all great ideas, it was just so obvious. This notion of layering in hotel services in an apartment is a little bit like having your own private estate manager who deals with your apartment oversight and deals with everything in your apartment. So all you have to do is just live there and enjoy yourself. I can't think of a more luxurious way of living than to really have your every whim, your every need, your every desire responded to by us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's like really being a member of a very exclusive private club. Gramercy Park is a unique place. It's the only private park in New York City. It's something that happened a long time ago, and it's in perpetuity. Every apartment owner gets access to a key to the park because it really is private.
Ian, when he was taking me around, said, "Oh, this is like a bit of London." And of course it is, in a sense. Of course, we're spoiled in London to have these extraordinary private squares. It's as if everything else recedes once you're in there.
It's like your own private backyard where John Kennedy used to play as a child when he was 8 years old. It's a little bit like having the gentility of a private square, but having the access to a 24-hour delicatessen on 3rd Avenue. It's like just not available any other place. You are in walking distance of the Chelsea Art District, the meat market, and all the restaurants and clubs and retail that's going on there. Walking distance. You're in walking distance to Soho, Times Square, the West Village, the East Village, Tribeca. If this were a football game, this would be the 50-yard line. If this were a concert for 100,000 people, this would be the first row. You couldn't get a better location. When we do a hotel, we are putting our aesthetic into it. It's a theatrical kind of experience. We're trying to uplift people when they come into it. An apartment is something totally different. An apartment, the personality of the owner is supposed to be evident in the apartment, not of me. What we want to do is provide a very modern, clean envelope that would be receptive to anybody's style.
The main thing about my architecture and what I'm trying to achieve is really to make people feel good in places. I'm more interested in getting the bones right so that you have a framework and you have a kind of skin in which you feel comfortable.
John plays very much with light, which in New York City is a rare commodity. The light, the high ceilings, and the other kind of details really make for a special place.
To get more light in and to get a bigger view of the park, I've lowered the windows so that they're full height. I've opened up the apartments so that they're They're open from the front to the back, so you've got this marvelous light all day from the north and the south. And what's interesting too is that whatever level you are in the building, you get a different perspective of the park in relationship to the trees. So you can either be over the canopy, which is extraordinary, or you can actually be amongst the trees. So it's almost like being in a tree house. I like natural materials. So in these apartments, we've got a beautiful white oak on the floor, walls that are a special kind of white. There's travertine used for benches, and the fireplace surrounds it. The bath will be one in which you can, lie back and really think about the day. It's an expanse of Roman travertine from Tivoli.
These apartments were designed to be conducive for social interaction. They have a heart where people living there gravitate. I was really trying to capture in these layouts the kind of happy home life I had with my mom and dad and my sister and brother. So here, of course, we have great rooms and living rooms and formal dining rooms and all those kind of things, but we did it in a way where there would be no dead spots, that the apartment would be lively, that social interaction would be encouraged. All of these things come together to make apartment ownership in this building something unlike anything before it. I was looking to do a residential apartment that I would like to live in, and that people from my generation would like to live in, and that would reflect who we are and what we do in my culture. It's not just an apartment with a great design or great layout and great finishes and great details. The real thing that really takes it to a place that it has never been before is this access to the services and privileges that one can get by being in a world-class hotel right next door. But really, the real benefit is the relief from the tension and the burdens and the responsibilities that go with ownership. And that's the luxury. It's effortless living.